Hi everybody, hope you're all okay. It's been a few days and I know people have been asking questions about where the next ones are. Well, we've got some for you. First of all, we've had a great time. Thank you to all our volunteers who've been out delivering leaflets. You've been great fun, especially the young ones who've had an absolute ball. Sorry to all those neighbours whose letterboxes went with a racket. Kids have no sense of delicacy in those things. Okay, I'll first touch on Karen Millington's. I don't have the full leaflet, so if you have a copy of it, I'd love to see it because I really want to know what's inside. But it caught my attention, the front page. So first of all, there it is, Karen Millington's. It's the bottom bit. It says, Karen Millington, working hard for Horwich and Blackrod. As far as I'm aware, until this election campaign, she didn't even step foot in Horwich and Blackrod. Could be wrong. She could be doing amazing things. So I'm dying to see the inside of this, to see what she's been doing, working hard on in Horwich and Blackrod. So please forward that on to me if you get it. My next one, we come on to Kevin McKeon's second one. This is it. Well, I've only printed off the middle. So the front and back is basically vote for Kevin and a big mug shot of him. You know, do that. What put it up on the wall like a poster, throw darts at it, whatever takes your fancy. First of all, they lead with Horwich first reveals her true colours. Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. She's gone. It seems to be a bigger issue for them than it does for us. But like I pointed out the other day, we now have the Tories saying, if you vote for us, you're getting Labour. Bit strange. But yeah, he misses with that. He quotes me a little bit at the bottom, saying that in a recent speech, I was unimpressed with them, and that I said open, honest and transparent, never trust Bolton Conservatives. I did say words to that effect over the Great British Railways. We were disgusted here in Horwich, and we will continue to fight for Horwich and Blackrod residents in that vein, because we are passionate. Then he goes on and does something quite naughty. You see here, he has a picture of the park, and he's claiming that councillors have brought this for people, so they've got something to do, etc. Yes and no. He's very good here. He plays with his words, and he plays it very carefully. I can't call him a liar because he isn't, but he's not telling the whole truth. So last year, as you recall, we said we wanted a skate park on Old Station Park. Due to various issues, including the new renovation, that wasn't going to happen. We did see an increase during the pandemic of youths causing a few problems. So I thought, what could we do? So yes, at that time, ward councillors, along with the town council, put together a budget to be able to bring lots of activities, which included this temporary skate park. That was the only one that ward councillors were involved in. All the ones since last summer, so the February half term, this Easter, and the one coming up in the summer, have been fully funded by your precept through Horwich Town Council. Nothing to do with Kevin. And just to prove that, here is the Playing Youth Facebook page, and at the bottom I've highlighted it. Fully funded by Horwich Town Council. Nothing to do with Kevin. Now, of course, that was one of our pledges to bring a skate park to Horwich last year's leaflet. Remember the big middle spread that we did? Like I said, there's been various issues, but going forward, we are looking at land that Bolton Council wanted to sell under the Strategic Asset Management Plan to see if we can put a pump park there. As you might have seen, if you look Pump Park Bolton, you'll see a couple that have sprung up, and they're really well run. And crime's decreased. It gives the youth something to do, and it's not just skateboards. It's scooters and all sorts. So we're hoping to bring that to you. Obviously, these things do take time to get the funding, to get the transfer of an asset or the lease of an asset. They do take their time. Things like that don't happen overnight, but we will be doing our best to bring that park to reality for you. So going back to Mr. McKeon. Cuts have consequences, and he goes here about fly tipping, etc, etc. Yeah, it is bad. It is really bad at the moment, but again, that's probably not helped by the tips not taking only taking so much. Better things can be done, I think. It's not necessarily down to cuts. We have an amazing group of volunteers throughout our town who litter pick and tidy places up. I give a massive shout out to Horwich Cleanup Brigade, who through the pandemic picked up Charlene, absolutely amazing woman. But I would like to point out that earlier in the year, Kevin McKeon, Kevin, didn't you say the poor were the reason for littering? I'm sure we've got a video of you saying that that deprivation was the reason for despoiling the environment. So effectively blaming the poor. But we'll move on. We've got a video of that. I might get one up soon. The rest of it is our pledges to you. We've been through that. Means nothing. Kevin McKeon working for you. Labour will ensure all children who are entitled to free school meals during term time will also receive them during holidays. That already happens. In addition to the government's voucher scheme, Bolton Council also spend an awful lot of money. Bernie Brown at Bolton Council, etc. They run fantastic holidays activity and food scheme. Urban Outreach are involved. We do have provision. It's just like, oh look, this must be Labour. No, it's not. Bolton Council have that, and the officers are amazing who facilitate that. The Tories reject Labour plans to help fund our army of brilliant volunteers. No, we've been through that. £200,000 for a hub for their mates in Bolton. It would basically take away the ability for CVS to give out money. The future Labour Council will be the most open, honest and transparent ever. Do you believe them? That's the question. They weren't particularly open, honest and transparent in the past, but people change. People do change. They do have some really good councillors coming through the ranks. I name one that I've worked with quite a bit, and she is completely enthralling and really lights up the room when she starts talking, is Councillor Jiva. My only concern is that the old guard is still there. They've not been completely removed yet, so maybe 2023 could be a turning point for Bolton Labour. But they've got some really good... Councillor Challoner is another one. I've not had much dealings with her, but from what I gather, she does an enormous amount of work. So maybe there is hope. But while the old guard's still there, I mean, people are still leaving Labour. So that's it. Nice little dissection there. Nothing in there that Labour have actually done, to be honest. So take it as you will. Thank you very much for your support, and I look forward to the next ones. Take care. Goodbye.